Ah, look at this. Ah. What's he? Ah. Love is tough. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. Love comes with so many questions. Questions that can leave us not knowing where to go and who to turn to. But when these questions arise, and you swear you've gone everywhere you can to look for answers, there is always one place that has the answers for us. One place with the answers when no one else has them. WikiHow. Now today we're going to be looking at the WikiHow romance and love section. But we're going to skip some of the cliche topics like how to handle conflict and how to communicate better, blah, 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 whatever. We don't care. Those questions have answers all over the internet. Today we want to focus on the articles and issues where you've looked everywhere for answers. The only helping hand reaching out to you is WikiHow. Hard-hitting questions like how to accept the fact that your partner is not intelligent. So it turns out the love of your life is dumb as shit. They're a dumbass. They don't get much. The cognitive capacity of your love interest is low. What are you going to do? WikiHow may have some of the answers for your pain. Method 1, compromise for a happier relationship. Remember, intelligence is only one of your partner's traits. Your partner might not be intelligent, but they might be hot. They might be smoking hot. Or, and less interesting ones, maybe they're kind or have a big heart or very loving. It might be worth your time to think of your partner's positive attributes that aren't intelligence, because that's a negative attribute. They're stupid. Another way to compromise is valuing trust over intelligence. Now let me tell you something. It's easy to trust somebody who's stupid. Either A, you'll be able to manipulate them very easily because they're stupid. Or B, if they get bold enough to try to conceive a plot against you, it will be bad, and you'll be able to see right through it because you're the intellect of the relationship. Dummies can be trusted, and that's a positive in your relationship. You should also try to choose honest communication. Instead of talking about intellectual topics, maybe you should consider talking about the weather today, or what's for dinner. This is an easy way to talk to somebody who's stupid. Now, the other method you can choose, if you don't want to just learn to deal with it, is seeing your partner through rose-tinted glasses. What this means is ignorance is bliss. Essentially, don't even think about the fact that they're stupid. Just think about how hot they are, or that they're kind. If you can ignore the fact that they're stupid, you'll be much happier with your relationship with this stupid idiot, and support your partner's desires to learn and engage. Instead of thinking them as stupid, think of them as having a lot to learn. That's so demeaning. Every WikiHow page has a Q&A section at the bottom where people can really dig into the topic and get responses from the authors. If I'm the unintelligent one in the relationship, do the same steps apply? How do I find out if I am unintelligent? What if I'm the stupid one? What do I do? This is something that you just need to own in life. You need to rock it with confidence. Now, you might be thinking, now that we know how to deal with a partner that's stupid, it's time that we learn how to confess to them how we really feel about feet. It's time to learn how to admit that we have a foot fetish. Why is this an article? This should come up. The author says, don't be embarrassed about having a thing for your partner's sexy, This was written by a guy with a foot fetish. As we dive into this one, I just want to lay down this disclaimer. Be prepared for cringe. If you have a foot fetish, whatever, nothing wrong with that. But man, when people talk about it, it's just gross. I don't know why. Step 1, you can't just dive right into the deep end. You gotta lay the groundwork. Don't fess up right away. If you want your partner to be okay with your foot fetish, the worst thing you can do is blurt it out right away. If you're in the middle of a first date or even kissing for the first time, saying, I have a foot fetish, is likely to turn the night in the wrong direction. Yeah, I mean, I can agree with that sentiment. That's probably not first date material, So, you gotta lay the groundwork. You gotta build some trust. Get them to like you as a person first, before you admit to being a filthy, filthy foot fetish person. Step 2, start touching your partner's feet. Bump them. What do you even do? You just, foot massages? Start giving foot massages. WikiHow suggests kissing the partner's stomach, and then move down to the feet. Next is do it, I guess. Ugh. I'll get through this. We'll get through this together. If they react negatively, WikiHow says, don't be discouraged. You still may be able to turn things around. However, this does mean that you shouldn't go for the feet again unless you have a big talk. Look at this. Look at this image. What's he? He's making like nut face. This is what's wrong with foot fetishes. This picture. Anyways, now it's time for step 2. Now, step 2, you just gotta tell them. You just gotta say, hey, I'm into feet. Step 1, you gotta pick a good time to do it. There's no golden rule, says WikiHow. Pick a time when your special someone is hanging out and feeling good. Before you drop the hammer on them. Before you tell them the God honest truth. WikiHow would suggest that you act a little bit nervous about it. Though it's perfectly normal to you, you should be considerate of your partner. Say something like, there's something I have to tell you. And then step 3, spit it out. Say, hey, I have a thing for feet. Give them some time to process the news. Then lastly, react appropriately to your partner's feelings. Did they break up with your ass? Bummer. Or are they into it? Maybe they also have a foot fetish. Maybe you're perfect for each other. Maybe you can smell each other's shoes. WikiHow says, if your partner accepts the foot fetish, awesome. Perhaps for a night of kinky fun. If your partner's just flat out not into it, there's no need to try to force it. Life is short, and you have a foot fetish. So, to recap, ease into it, straight up tell them, and then break up with them. Best of luck to you. Now let's see what the community has to say. If a girl agrees to engage in my fetish, but prefers to use socks, shouldn't I tell her I like it barefoot better? How do you get into this situation? Is that like a compromise? I don't understand if that's a compromise or not. How do I admit a foot fetish to my parents? Why? You just need to tell your parents that you have a foot fetish. Why? Just live your life. How old are you? My friend told me he has a foot fetish. How do I stop him asking for me for foot pics? Why? Why are you doing this? See, this is why people with foot fetishes get a bad rap. Ultimately, it's just like a body part, right? And I guess you could be attracted to a body part, right? I'm sure there's some people that are like, ooh, hands. Love me some hands. Or hips. I don't know. Love me some knees. But the foot people are the people asking their friends to send them pictures of your feet. So weird. Stop. Stop now. Okay. Okay, so we've covered now what happens if your partner's stupid, and also how to tell your partner that you're into their feet. What if you don't have a partner? What if you're single and ready to mingle? Well, one of the best places to meet women is the club, right? Lots of people there, open-minded, a little loud, maybe not your type of people, but they're open to it. But that leaves one blistering question. How do you dance at a club to attract her? Now, it says to attract her, but I bet that this goes both ways. I bet that you could use these dancing tips to attract somebody. Do you want to sexually attract a girl or guy dancing at a club or party? Look, WikiHow's got the answer for you. First step, jump. Literally jump. When you enter into a party or club, don't waste time. Just start doing what you intended. Jump on the floor and dance alone for a while until you feel more relaxed. Just dance alone. You're just in the middle of the club. I don't know about you, but dancing alone in the club with a whole bunch of other people, I don't know if that makes me more comfortable. Next, what you need to do is immerse yourself in the high energy environment. Don't analyze it, just jump. This is not only interactive, but it helps you become action-centered. Literally jump. In step 3, now that you're comfortable, there's a person on the floor, you're kind of like, ooh, check this out. Approach her right away, do not wait. Do not feel out her personality. Do not gauge anything about the situation. Just go. Go, tiger. The world's yours. Now you might be wondering, approach her. How? Well, that's where step 2 comes in. Step by step. Go to her. Approach her in a way that she sees you coming and start dancing with her. I'm coming, baby. Oh, baby, I'm coming. This will tell if she is down to dance and is comfortable with you, or if not. Step 2, your steps are working. You are confident. You have just danced your way right up to her or him. Next step, After dancing with her for some time, grab her hands and lead her as you dance. What WikiHow recommends is placing your hands above her waist and do a zigzag motion. To clarify, it doesn't mean shake her with force. And lastly, keep eye contact. If you felt awkwardness or nervousness for a millisecond, you are most likely going to lose her. This is a mating dance. If you mess this up in the smallest way, it's over. She is keen. She is ready. Reminds me of like Planet Earth's like mating scenes. This is literally just a wiki article on the human equivalent. Naturally, pull her crotch closer to yours. The only thing that matters when dancing at the club is crotches. You are your crotch. Now you might be thinking, well, I've got a great personality and I have lots of fascinating interests and I do interesting work. Doesn't matter. You're at the club, you're a vagina or you're a dick and balls. That's all that matters now. So, naturally, you know? Right there. Next step, now that your crotches are right next to each other, go for the makeout. If she denies, stand your ground and stay there as if it's not a big deal, because it's not. I mean, maybe. If she denies the makeout, then maybe you should just be like, oh, you're not into that? Cool. Have a great rest of your night. Maybe I'll see you later. You want my phone number? No? Okay, bye. Another tip from WikiHow, whisper in the ears. Now you might be thinking, whisper? It's the club. You'd probably end up yelling in her ear. And to that I would say, yeah, probably. Which is slightly less romantic. But hey, you gotta do what you gotta do, and WikiHow says, hey, get up in that ear. After you have been intimate with each other at the club, you might actually want to talk. WikiHow says now is the time where you could potentially think about talking. They also say you gotta ignore everyone else. What's going on with this artwork? This is kinda... That might be tough considering the fact that you're probably drunk. It's very loud. There's a lot of stimulating lights going on, but you gotta ignore everything else. This is closing time. And lastly, it's normal to have anxiety and fear, but still be confident, close the deal, and go your separate ways or go the same way. What does the community have to say? Literally nothing. There's no community. And there you go. WikiHow bringing the heat again. Answers to some of the toughest questions in love. Well, you should be ready now. You should be ready to go to the club and pick up the soulmate of your dreams by barely talking to them, learn how to cope when you find out that they're really stupid, and learn how to tell that really stupid person that you have a foot fetish. It's a beautiful love story that is not often told enough. Maybe it's you. Maybe it will be you. But thank God for WikiHow, because without it, we wouldn't know how to handle these situations. Thank you so much for watching. There's more cringy WikiHow articles that I could potentially go over in the future, and if you got recommendations, send them my way. Hopefully, I'll see you in the next video or stream. I upload Wednesdays at noon Central, and I stream intermittently between then and there. You're great. If you were at the club, I would hop on over to you. Confidently. That's all for now. Bye.